We're just back from Disney, and we spend way too much money. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what we think is the best family thrill ride. Let's talk about that. Hey everyone, I'm Tom, and today we are going to be talking about what we think is the best family thrill ride out there. Now, I can hear the question already. What do you consider to be a family thrill coaster? Well, some people consider a family thrill coaster more like a coaster that goes fast, but isn't really that intense. Others consider it to be an inverting coaster that isn't as tall and as intimidating as others. Other people just consider Taron. Now we think that family thrills are a combination of two things. One is that the minimum height is around 1.20 meters or lower, so that many members of the family can actually ride the coaster. I see many coasters having height limitations of 1.40 meters, and that's just too high to consider it as a family ride. And the other requirement is that the ride is not as intimidating. You see those big 50-meter high coasters and they go super fast, they all reach for the height and speed records, not making inversions or anything like that, or even making so many inversions that it really gives you the intention of this ride's going to make me sick. No, we're looking at a coaster that is not really scary, but more thrilling, and that many members of the family are eager to try, even if it's, going upside down. This type of coaster should be a great stepping stone for someone who's not done an inversion yet, or someone who's not done a launch yet. It should be a great first launch coaster, a great first inverting coaster for young enthusiasts. Right now we've ridden hundreds of coasters here in Europe, and we think we've just, in the past couple of months, ridden what we consider to be the best family thrill coaster on the market today. And we of course are talking about Hals-Über-Kopf in Tripsdrill. This coaster is an STC built by Vekoma. It has a small lift hill about 30 meters high, which is sub 100 feet, and it has a top speed of approximate 80 kilometers per hour, which is not the fastest, but it's already faster than your average family rides. It also features the newer Vekoma lap bars. This gives a lot of freedom, and it also is less intimidating than those over-the-shoulder restraints that you could find on the previous version, the SLC. And as many of you guys know, and I've ridden SLCs are not less comfortable. They are painful in many cases, and when you compare the two, both are about 30 meters high, they both have about the same max speed. But when you look at them, one is way more intimidating than the other. Whenever I see an SLC, I get shivers down my spine, while this new STC, the suspending thrill coaster, Hals-Über-Kopf, has this nice, modern, sleek, finished design, which really gives me a feeling of smoothness, of comfort, and that's what is a big plus when you're looking at family thrill rides, because rough and strong and aggressive coasters will more tend to less family friendly. Now for the overall layout of this ride, it's pretty straightforward. You have your lift hill going up, you have a curved drop going down, then you go into your first inversion, which is a 0G roll, which is going over the station of Voldamp, which is the kiddie coaster that the park recently opened. And then you go into a junior Immelman, have some airtime hills, which for an inverted coaster is pretty awesome. You go into another 0G roll, then do some twists and turns, then finish off with a final turn going into the last inline twist, and then you're straight into the brakes. It has a good length, and the forces that you experience are all sub 4Gs, which means it's open for more smaller children than normal rides, because once they hit those 4Gs, the length requirement and the age requirement goes up again. Also, the inversions are not as intense as loopings or corkscrews, which can pull a lot more forces compared to these 0G rolls. These 0G rolls, they give you a great feeling of weightlessness, and that's a perfect first inversion if you ask me. This coaster is just so perfect in many ways. It has good inversions, the forces are not too strong, you get some floater and even some ejector airtime. It's just good. You can repeat it all day, you can ride and ride and ride. The re-rideability of this coaster is so good. There is a significant difference, of course, if you go for the front row or the back row. The back row really pulls you through all those inversions, but still the forces are not that big. It's the perfect introduction for an enthusiast to inversions. Now, another coaster that comes very close to this one is Formula in Energylandia, which is also manufactured by Vekoma. I think they're really onto something with these coasters. Belgian, Dutch and French parks, please start building these. Thank you. It provides a small footprint with a coaster that doesn't go above that 100 feet. It has a launch, it has great inversions, the forces don't go over those 4Gs. Formula is just too short to be on the same level as Hals-Über-Kopf. But then again, Formula was the first coaster to be built, and then they learned from that and improved it on Hals-Über-Kopf. If you're looking at a park that is looking to provide thrills, but also has the goal to attract the whole family, then these are the rides that you should be looking at. I'm looking at you, Bellawada. Go contact Vekoma. But that's what we think. What do you think is the perfect family thrill? Is there another coaster? Do you think we considered family thrill to be something different? Do you see family thrill more like it doesn't need to have inversions, but it can be very fast? Or do you think there's another coaster that should be considered for the title of best family thrill coaster? Or do you just totally disagree with our opinion? It's all fine, just let's talk about it in the comments here below. I'm really eager to see all your opinions and I want to talk about it. As always, if you enjoyed the video, then we'd really appreciate it if you'd smash that like button. Smash that like button. Do they really still do that in 2021? Yeah. You do you. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to be the first to know when we upload a new video. Unless you already saw us spam on our Instagram page, then you really don't need to subscribe. But it helps, I think. Alright, that's all from me today. See you next time. Bye!